Hello, hi everybody. I am Gurbani and I am with our new Princi here today, Mr. Professor Satish Jayaram. And usually I'm actually here in the principal's office today and I'm a little nervous because usually when anybody comes here it's because they're in trouble. But today, finally, I've been able to corner him in his own office for this exclusive chat where we both are going to talk about all things hospitality, career, WGSHA, education, and I hope by the end of it, you can also benefit from all the great amount of knowledge and information that he has to share. So, hello, sir, and thank you so much for agreeing to this. Okay, so I'm going to begin with a small rapid fire. Now, this has nothing to really, it's very simple, but I just want to get to know you a little better, and I want everybody also to know you a little more. So, very simple. Are you a tea or a coffee person?
Coffee Americano.
Specific. Nice, I like that. Regional or international cuisine?
Both.
A little bit more.
Depends on the occasion.
Okay. But what would you prefer more?
Regional. I would say southern Karnataka right now.
Oh, right now. Okay. Little personal. Black or white?
Grey.
Oh, okay. I like that. Dosa or paratha?
Dosa, definitely.
Okay. Okay, this one I'm not sure if you can answer this, then I'm really going to be a fan. Marvel or DC?
Marvel, that's what my children watch.
Okay, good answer. I'm a Marvel fan too. Brands, Armani or Boss?
Boss, definitely.
Okay, anything specific you like?
That's what I'm wearing today.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Beer or wine?
Beer mostly, but wine on occasion and specifically champagne.
Okay. Single malt or gin and tonic?
GNT for regular and single malt on occasion.
I love how you're like so on point. Okay. This is a controversial one. Taj or ITC?
For the past 28 years, it's been Taj, and I have great respect for the brand. ITC now.
Very, very nice. Okay. Cannot really say anything to that. Okay. Can we see how many people have joined? Should we wait for 2-3 minutes?
It's all up to you.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just begin with the first question then. You have had an incredible 35-year journey in hospitality. And looking back, is there one golden lesson, anything that you've learned, something that every student stepping into this industry should carry with them?
Yes. You see, you have to be like a sponge. So you're not going to learn hospitality from a textbook. You really have to learn hospitality from life. There's opportunity for you to learn at every stage, and you need to absorb all of those experiences that life throws at you. And there's hospitality in our culture, there's hospitality in life all around us, and that's what prepares you for the basic attitude for hospitality. Okay. But having said that, it is necessary for you to also go through a lot of technical learning, which is why it is necessary for you to come to an institution.
Like
and
WGSHA.
There's no better institution than WGSHA.
Correct. Great answer. Okay. Again, now you've been the principal for 15 years already, 25 years in education. Amazing. So can we say that you're the GOAT of hospitality education, at least in India?
Well, I'd like to ask our viewers to answer that question. I don't know if I'm GOAT, but what is a GOAT, by the way?
It's just greatest of all time. Just a Gen Z
Well,
term.
I would request all of our people out there to answer that question to really know if I'm the GOAT of hospitality education.
Okay, I would say you are.
Thank you.
But also, I'd just like to add in that if anybody wants to ask any questions or there's anything, please free to drop them in the comments, and then by the end of the session, I'll try to have Sir answer them for you. Okay. Now, next question. Was there a specific moment or experience that made you choose hospitality as your career path? Like, the this is it moment.
Yes, there were a couple. The first was that I was probably in the 10th standard when I visited a 5-star hotel for the very first time. My father took me to the President Hotel in Mumbai, and it's just that whole ambience that got to me and made me realize that this is probably where I want to spend the rest of my life.
Wow.
And having said that, my friends, relatives, and particularly my uncle was keen that I should look at hospitality because he thought I had everything it took to join hospitality. Of course, those were not the days when we took career tests and we had counseling. We just had friends, relatives to guide us. I took the national entrance examination and started off in 1986, and here I am 36 years later.
Wow, it's amazing how you knew at that age. That's great. Okay, next question. WGSHA offers both hospitality, service management, and culinary arts program. So, which is a great opportunity for students, but many often say that they wish they had a clear understanding of the difference. I would have loved to have a clear understanding before joining the college. So, how would you explain the distinction to our future students?
Right. So, there are two distinct pathways. You have the hospitality, service management, hotel management pathway as it's commonly known.
Correct.
And this pathway focuses on three things. So you have the vocational skills which are needed to run the business, which is required to run operations. So I would count front office, housekeeping, food and beverage service, and food production, and even technology well at this point of time, at the base of what you need to learn to run the business. The second stage requires you to have some competence to build your functional skills. And functional skills have to be built in the domains of marketing, sales, managing people, human resource, law, and finance. Of course, there's also a great necessity for you to understand the intricacies of how the business runs from another standpoint. Having said that, you need to take your education in the hotel management vertical to the last level, where you need to integrate a lot of other program elements, say digital marketing, for example, or revenue management. There are opportunities for you to look at careers beyond
Just the
what might have been traditionally starting off in each of the functional areas or starting off in each operational area, which is how things were at least 3.5 decades ago when I graduated. But having said that, I think it's very interesting that today institutions like WGSHA have a focused area of specialization. And this is where the focus on culinary arts becomes so necessary. Each of these domains have a huge career pathway going forward. But I would believe that, like yourself, if you've decided you want to be a chef, you would rather choose the culinary arts pathway than opting for hotel management and then deciding to switch. I would rather that somebody who wants to be a chef starts as a chef. Because again, there are so many rudiments that you need to practice. And training to be a chef is a lifelong commitment, and it's lifelong learning. I think it's necessary for you to focus on the 3 years that you have in college and to collect all of those experiences together if you want to go down that pathway. But having said that, I would not choose one over the other. It's necessary for young people like yourselves to become well-rounded. And in that process, I think it's necessary for us to look at each element of learning, whether it is at the vocational level, it is at the functional level, or at the strategic level. Because if you want to be a future leader in hospitality, you need to develop higher order thinking skills. you need to have exposure to industry. And you have a perfectly balanced 4-year program which enables you to do that.
That's true. And I completely agree. Like you said, revenue, sales, event management. So many of my batchmates got placed in these fields when they were doing hospitality, service management. So, can I ask you that what did you do? Like, were you focused towards culinary or management?
So I started working in food and beverage in the late 80s. I moved to the front office. I then got exposure in sales and marketing, revenue management, and it was about 7 years into my operational journey when I chose to move to education. It was 1996 when I moved to education, and I've taught in all of the areas. So I've taught the vocational and practical areas. I've also taught the functional areas. I used to be a professor of innovation and strategy when I actually hung up my boots in traditional hospitality education, and I moved to hybrid tech learning. And that's the contribution I made for the past 3 years. So it's been a wonderful journey, and there have been layers of experience that have added to who I am today.
That's amazing. That's why I said you're the go-to the industry. You all should really look him up on LinkedIn. Okay, so the hospitality world is evolving quickly. Are there any trends you think that will really shape the future for students like us? And how do you think our college, WGSHA, is keeping up to pace with that?
So I think it's very necessary for us to use a design thinking approach and to absorb what industry needs and transition that into curriculum. That's a very crucial part of making sure that we remain current.
Correct.
You have the greatest advantage working inside of this institution because of the degree of autonomy it inspires within the faculty, within the programs, and you are extremely fortunate to be part of this Manipal Academy of Higher Education. I would say without doubt, one of these things that matter is the quality of infrastructure that you study in, the nature of faculty. But having said that, I think the criticality that we are talking about here is all of these experiences that you have every day, they come because the industry requires a certain kind of talent. And that talent comes from all of those things that make people unique. In spite of this huge orientation towards technology, artificial intelligence, machine learning, tech-enabled systems, and so on, I think at the end of the day, it's really about empathy. It's about warmth. It's about your ability to communicate. It's about service orientation. It's about being kind and honest. And that is what makes people unique. Curricular elements are critical because they give you technical skills. But in spite of everything that you have around you, I think what makes our talent unique is that they have humane skills. At the end of the day, this is a very human-centric industry.
That is very true.
So I think you have all of the ingredients that make it possible for you to come up with a beautiful recipe to succeed in life.
Correct, that's so true. Okay, so similar question, but what are the top skills students need to truly stand out? Like, what are you looking for in a student who say who wants to join WGSHA? Is there a certain mindset or energy that you think would really help?
Yes, we're looking for personalities at the end of the day. We're looking for complete people who can be molded. You need people with a high level of curiosity. You need people who have the ability to ask questions,
yes,
challenge the status quo, think about being a better version of themselves. It's necessary for you to have a high level of creativity. You need to have analytical ability. You need to be able to absorb information as you move forward. You need to be able to manage situations, people, solve problems,
Crisis.
learn as you move,
Yes.
okay, be smart on your feet. And all of this is really a bundle. If you look at technical skills, you can pick up those technical skills. But who you are as a personality will actually guide who you are going to be in hospitality. So I see many of these things are very intrinsic to people. Some of these skills can be learned.
Yes,
you
definitely.
can learn some degree of leadership. You can learn a certain proficiency working inside a kitchen, or you can work with technology to get a certain kind of proficiency. But what you really need is to groom yourself to be a citizen of the future. And that happens only if you have the ability to absorb, the ability to change, the ability to learn every day, and to have an open attitude.
Very well said.
So that is who we are looking for.
I was actually thinking of all the 4 years that I've been here and all the qualities that you just mentioned. All of them have, we need to put all of them into use when we are doing our practicals, or we have certain, situational programs. We had one, it was a restaurant, like we had to manage an entire restaurant that in our own WGSHA restaurant where we sold tickets and everything. And most of these qualities, handling guests actually from outside, all of them, like it really was really helpful to learn all of these skills first. Okay, next question. Outside the classroom, what opportunities do you think that students absolutely should take advantage of, and what makes the WGSHA experience so unique?
So I'm going to flip that question for you. I am here for the past 3 weeks, and though I've been in hospitality education for a little close to 3 decades,
yes,
I'm going to ask you what makes WGSHA so special. So outside of your faculty, your classroom, your laboratories, this beautiful infrastructure that you enjoy,
yes,
I'm going to ask you, Gurbani, what is it that happened to you over the past 4 years outside that classroom which made it so special for you?
There are a lot of things. I think most of the learning was outside. And that's because, there are so many things. We have a food pod, right? So we were made to cook food in the food pod, sell tickets, go sell in like different colleges. That was amazing, a great experience. We have a cafe here, where again it's all student made. We have people coming from all over Manipal to have the food, and there's so much. We learn how to handle the guests, we learn how to make the food, everything. Then tomorrow we have our formal ball, which is one thing that we were all waiting for since the first year, where it's like a proper, we've learned ball dancing, and I don't think that's a part of anybody else's curriculum. We've had classes, a professional teacher teaching us ball dance. We have a formal lunch, which is like a state dinner. It's a tradition. We just had it like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and that was a very full circle moment, because in the formal lunch we first, for our seniors, we served, and then now we were the guests, and that service, everything's coordinated. Y'all should really check it out on YouTube. It's all coordinated. Everyone, like all the servers, their footsteps, everything matches, and that takes a lot of practice. And then to be on the receiving end of it was like really special. And these are just few. There's wine tasting. We have whiskey tasting. We could do that. We could, learn about so much without even having to go out in the industry. Like we could do all of that in our college. So I think I could go on and on. There are a lot of things.
So it goes back to what I was saying about being a well-rounded personality.
Yes.
So all of these experiences, so if you look at the elements that you have in WGSHA, you have your core curriculum.
Yes.
You have a lot of learning experiences.
Yes. We do.
You have clubs. You have outside of class activities. You live in a beautiful university environment.
Yes.
You are able to leverage many other disciplines for multidisciplinary learning.
Yes.
You make friends. You live in a diverse environment. You live in a safe and secure environment.
Very
That's
true.
because this town is dedicated to students. And I don't think one could have asked for a better, well-rounded learning and student experience in this country.
Correct.
And I say that with expertise because I've been in this domain for a long time.
That's very true. Adding to your point, safety. There are a lot of concerns about safety in Manipal. You know why? So I just want your, viewpoint on it.
Okay, so I think it's a concern that a lot of people have, and there has been a lot of conversation around that. I think it's important for us to look at the structure and to look at the systems. So you have a lot of formal systems, which are institutional systems, which are university systems. Now, outside of these systems, I think it's necessary for us to look at safety not as something that's provided from outside, but safety as something that you practice in order to be a responsible future citizen of this country. So let me flip that again for you, Gurmani. How have you been safe in the past 4 years that you've spent here?
Okay, like first, what you said, it comes from inside. So that is one very, if you want to get into trouble, you can get into trouble anywhere. That's not just this college, that could be anywhere. But other than that, we have a mentor-mentee program. I have had a mentor since my first week of college. And we have like regular meetings with our mentors. So in the beginning, it was really helpful because we didn't know much here. So if we had issues, even with our hostels or timings or anything, we could go to our mentor, and they are always like, they are our teachers, one of them, but then they always stand up for you because you're their mentee. So that was one thing. If there's any issue, you could just go to them and it'll be solved, or they'll do something about it. Then there is, in Manipal, we have campus patrolling because it's a student town. So it's not like those residential. For the first year, I stayed in the hostel. Then I moved out. But after moving out also, it's not like a normal residential town where anybody can come to your society, anybody can go. It's not like that. There are restrictions. IDs are checked, college IDs are checked, and I think that's a great, like, we are staying outside independently, we are learning all of that, but at the same time there are restrictions so we don't go all, so we are safe. Our parents are also happy and we are also happy. So that's yeah.
I think being independent is a responsible choice.
Yes.
And you make that choice.
Correct.
As parents, or for people who come from my generation, I think it's necessary for us to provide our wards, our children, people who are young and have the ability to make mistakes, a strong safety net, and to provide the boundaries, and to determine where potentially you are likely to go wrong, and to provide you all the support that's necessary for you to make your lives a lot more meaningful. We all have a finite amount of time when we are in college or when we are inside of this learning environment. What we do with that time
is up to us.
Is entirely up to you.
Correct.
And I think so long as educators, as parents, as another generation from another time, we provide you the safety net, the opportunity, the boundaries, and the ability to make your own decisions, it also allows you to enjoy your independence responsibly.
Yes, very true. And I've been here for almost 4 years now, and I think Manipal is great. Like, I think it's safe. I think you can have the right amount of fun and the right amount of learning if you want to.
I've been here for 3 weeks, and I think Manipal is great.
Okay, I think we have a few questions.
Happy to take them.
Can we? Okay.
Yeah, happy to take those.
Okay. Okay, so there are some viewers who'd like to know the difference between BSc and BSc Honours.
Right. So if you are familiar with how curriculum is structured today, BSc is the basic degree that you get. The BSc Honours is where you have another research module that you study in order to get a lot more depth. One of the outcomes of education is to develop higher order thinking skills. And those skills actually come from being able to study research, to be able to learn from the environment, learn from your economy, learn from industry, triangulate that information and come up with coherent models that allow you to determine whether the education that you have received at the foundation level or the intermediate level or even at the strategic level can be brought into a capstone. And that fourth year actually contributes to your honors learning. So you have a basic vocational program that you can study and leave in 3 years. But my advice to everybody would be use the additional year in order to study the fourth year, discover yourself, discover education, discover knowledge, discover your own research potential, and that is what makes education really complete for you.
Yeah, specialize into
Absolutely.
whatever
Absolutely.
you like in the first thing. That's correct. The next question is how, this is also asked in the video, in the live, how a culinary expert will learn about business if institute only focuses on specialization?
Good point. As I said to you, you need to create the distinction between the skills that are needed for you to practice your vocation. You also need to parallelly develop skills in the business domain. As I said, you need to have a functional orientation towards, say, marketing, digital marketing, for example. Okay, it's not necessary for a chef to only produce great meals. Okay, chefs have a lot of their consumption today on Instagram than on any other channel.
Right.
Now, having said that, your ability to develop skills in digital marketing, your ability to run profitable businesses, your fundamental knowledge of finance, your ability to manage people, your ability to develop interpersonal skills. Now, all of these are beyond what you would learn in a kitchen. You do learn some of these things in the kitchen, but sometimes it's necessary for you to step back from your core vocation and to look at how you can develop these functional skills. Many of these are electives. They are options inside of your curriculum. But you also need to work towards developing business skills, to develop entrepreneurship skills. I heard you saying earlier, there are opportunities for you to practice live entrepreneurship inside of your own school. And if you are able to run a cafe by yourself, or if you're able to run a food court by yourself, if you're able to contribute to creating special theme nights, you have food festivals, you have this entire audience which comes out to you to consume what you've prepared. I think that learning is a well-rounded learning.
100%. Nothing. Those 2 weeks were the most stressful, but I think the most fun and the most informative times that we've had here. Daksha is asking a BHM entrance exam date.
Write to us. It's admissions.vaksha@manipal.edu. We are waiting for you.
I'll just take quick. Thank you. Okay. The next question is, there's so many myths about the hospitality industry, and it makes people, refrain them from joining the industry. So I would like to ask you, how many of these myths have you ended up bursting in the past 35 years?
Well, you hear all the regular suspects, right? Long working hours, not enough pay, graveyard shifts and so on. Now, all of that depends on the attitude with which you approach it. I can tell you that if you love what you do, there's really no distinction between work and life.
True.
So for me, life is work and work is life. But having said that, balance actually comes because your business allows you to practice all of the things that you might love. So I've had the most wonderful time being in the hospitality industry, dining in some of the most beautiful places on the planet, having experienced fantastic company. I've had the opportunity to visit great places. I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world. I've had the opportunity to learn over and over again, and I can tell you that wouldn't have been possible if I'd chosen not to be in the industry. So you have two options, really, Gurbani. So you either have the option of saying that this is a drudgery, or you have the option of saying that I'm going to use my life and I'm going to use my time to make myself better with each day, absorbing from the situation in which I am, learning from my circumstances, learning from the people who are with me, and that is what actually makes you well-rounded.
Right.
If you were to focus on the negatives from a mechanical standpoint and say, look, there's not enough money, there's not enough time, well, there is an opportunity for you to choose what you want. Everything is actually about choice.
Choice.
If you
Correct.
choose to take the right breaks, if you choose to spend the right time, if you choose areas that make you better, that choice exists with you. And I think this is just a lot of bad news that keeps snowballing. So it's entirely up to you how you want to absorb that news, and it's entirely up to you. You've been in the kitchens.
Yes.
Now I want you to tell me whether your life has been a drudgery.
First year was, again, I thought it was really tough. There were a lot of restrictions, a lot of things, grooming, this, that. Then I think in 6-7 months, it just came to me naturally. Like I didn't really have to put in efforts because we knew exactly what we had to do, because we were trained in that way for the first 6 months. That everything just felt like, it was flowing through like.
So therefore my question to you is, would you rather focus on the negatives or would you focus on the positives?
Of course, the positive, definitely.
At the end of 4 years, I'm going to ask you, do you feel like you've gone through drudgery? Do you feel like you've gone through negativity? Or do you think you've had a wonderful time exploring yourself?
I don't even remember the negative parts, to be honest now.
I
So
think that's precisely what the business is all about. You absorb what you want to absorb, you take what you want to take. And I think we're getting a lot more questions from our
Yeah.
live audience.
Okay, should I ask the
Absolutely.
first one? Okay.
Go forward.
Amit is asking, what will a student learn in the BSc course?
My advice to you is to log on to our website so you get a detailed curriculum. Outside of that, please leave your number. We will get somebody to call you and have a detailed conversation so you can have a career counseling chat.
Okay. Kirtana is asking, when does the first semester begin this year?
So we are going to be starting early August, and I'd advise you to visit us. We have open days every second and fourth Saturday. Please come over, take a look at the wonderful institution we have here.
You will
and
really
once you
love it.
come to WGSHA, do you think they will ever want to go back?
I don't think so.
And having said that, we will also be announcing a summer school. It's possible for you to come and spend a week here at WGSHA, experience all of those things that you would otherwise do in a 4-year program like Gurbani has done. And I'd like to invite you to come and see for yourself.
Please do. You should visit this institute. Another viewer, Aditya Sharma, is asking, 4th year is optional or compulsory?
If you join the BHM program, it's a 4-year program. If you decide to take the BSc in culinary sciences, you can choose to be here in the 4th year or choose to leave at the end of 3 years.
But you should stay for the 4th year. Our viewer Daksha says that she has applied but so far got no response. I think she can contact admissions@WGSHA, and I'm sure that
It's admissions.waksha@manipal.edu. But
Yes.
Daksha, please leave your number and I will get somebody from the team to call you.
yes. Someone is asking, when is the entrance exam for BSc Culinary Science? I think you already answered.
We answered that question, but I'd like to repeat once again. Please write to us, admissions.waksha@manipal.edu, and we will get somebody to get in touch with you and guide you through the whole process.
Please do. Okay. I will move on with the rest of the questions. So you are from my parents' generations. So, so what do you do to stay relevant in this generation?
I think I'm very blessed. It's been a great opportunity over the past 3 decades for me to live amongst young people. And I think there's one golden rule which I follow, which is to be completely honest and to be completely open with young people. I think that fundamental value doesn't change. Open communication breaks down all of the barriers. I have grown-up children. My son is 29, my daughter is 24.
Oh.
But I've been through the growing years with them, and I wish they had the same good things to say about me as you do. What keeps
I'm
me
sure
relevant is the fact that as an educator, as an administrator, as the principal of a school, I practice this very simple principle called tough love. So we have to be tough, and all of our interactions with the next generation have to be moderated by concern, love, care, which is what the business is actually based on. Hospitality is about caring for people.
That is very true.
And if you practice that every day, I promise you, the barriers haven't affected me for the past 30 years that I've been in education, and I look forward to many more.
That's amazing. I think that's mainly because, again, as you said, you're really opening to listening and learning from everybody. That's a great quality to have. Okay. What do you enjoy the most about leading WGSHA, and where do you envision the college heading in the next few years under your guidance?
To begin with, I'm very fortunate. I'm deeply honored with this opportunity to lead WGSHA. I came here a few months ago, and I was completely taken in by the enormous world of opportunity that lies ahead of us. Let's begin with a fabulous infrastructure. I can say without doubt, this is the finest hospitality education infrastructure I've seen in the country.
I agree.
And I think all of you as students are so fortunate to be here. Having said that, the second point I'd like to make is about the degree of flexibility you have in the learning modules.
Yes.
So if you look at your curriculum, if you look at the autonomy that this institution enjoys, the Wellcome Group Graduate School of Hotel Administration is so deeply connected with industry. So our relationship with ITC Hotels Limited makes it possible for us to use design thinking approaches to build what the industry needs for the future. There are going to be at least 50 million jobs
Yes.
that are going to be created for hospitality. If you look at the way the business is growing, and if you look at the opportunities that lie ahead in front of students, whether it is in the employment domain, you have only 1,500 students graduating. But if you look at the 50 million jobs, we're probably going to have to depend on creating 3 layers of skills. Frontline skills, which represent about 70% of the business. About 25% of the business is really in the skills that are needed in the supervisory level or in the mid-management level.
Yes.
But my vision for WGSHA is that we should be able to create future leaders.
Top management.
And those are the 5%. And there is adequate evidence of that. We have Mr. Anil Chadda, who's the CEO of ITC Hotels Limited. Okay, he's an alumnus of this college from 1990. And I see many more CEOs and leaders coming out. What I believe we need to build today is a very robust foundation.
Yes.
Create a very relevant curriculum. Create opportunities for us to learn from industry. Create opportunities for us to use our skills to absorb from partners all over the world. Create a network learning platform which allows us to absorb best-in-class practices, whether it is in culinary, whether it is in pastry, whether it is in chocolate, whether it is in managing brands, whether it is in digital marketing, in revenue management, in areas where we can build future leaders. So I see our ability to create the future as my immediate brief as we build our programs, our certifications, and what we do here at WGSHA. What I see as the future of this institution is that this is going to be a benchmark institution, because this institution has all the wherewithal, whether it is in terms of its compliance with faculty-student ratios,
Yes.
whether it is its compliance in quality systems, whether it is its compliance in the quality of infrastructure. All of those elements are just the right fodder for creative academics to build learning mechanisms and learning systems which will allow people to start incubating their leadership ability for the future. And do you agree with me?
100%. 100%. The ingredients we use, the equipment we get to work with, I don't think they're available anywhere. And before I went for my internship, this one semester, it was a lot easier for me to, like get, like adapt to the working environment, the all the big equipments there, because I had already used it in college. So I think that was one plus that I had over others who were with me in the internship from different colleges. So that was really nice. Before we take the last few questions from the audience, just what's one piece of advice or a message you'd love to leave for the future WGSHA students watching right now?
To all of you, my message is learning is a never-ending process. If you make lifelong learning your mantra, you will never lose relevance. You have to make it a point to be there all the time, learning, growing, committing to yourself, committing to the people who make you succeed, and that's what makes you good leaders. And more than anything else, learning is all around you. Learn to adopt this learning and make sure that you practice this learning, apply that learning, and stay committed to being good human beings, because that's what creates good leaders.
And that's not just for hospitality. I think that's
it's anywhere.
Anywhere. That's really well said. Okay, so we're going to take the last few questions, and if you all want to ask anything, please do right now till the time I ask Sir these questions. Okay, so the first question is, Vishal would like to know whether it is possible to become a good chef by doing BHM.
Well, I think you should answer that question, because
I am also doing BHM, and I think that is very much possible. The 4th year in BHM, you have a choice, whichever specialization you want to take. There are definitely more culinary opportunities as a class in the culinary course, but especially in this college, there's always place to learn. Like if you want to do more, you have more opportunities. If you want to go for competitions, you always have the help of the chefs. Everybody is there, and yeah, so it totally depends on you. If you want to become a good chef, you'll become a good chef.
Nevertheless.
Yes. Okay, Amit is also asking if he joins a BSc course, can he become a chef?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a simple answer.
Yeah. Okay. Daksha says she applied for BHM and is clueless about the entrance exam. Should she apply again? She did contact the admissions mail.
Right. So I think we spoke to Daksha earlier. I'm just going to tell you, please email me. I'm on principal.worksha@manipal.edu. And if you don't hear back from me, leave your number. I promise to call you.
Bhavna wants to know about placements of previous years.
Very interesting. That's a lot of data. Please write to us and we'll send you all of the information. I can only tell you that at this point of time, we have companies waiting and we don't have enough people.
Almost everyone I'm the final year, and almost everyone from our batch is placed.
Or going to study abroad.
Yeah. One of those two. Prashant asks, what is better to do, BHM or culinary arts? Because if he does culinary arts, he's asking if he's restricting himself doing culinary arts.
Can I ask you to answer that question?
See, if you're very sure that you want to be a chef, then I don't think you're restricting yourself. And also, I've had a lot of my friends in other batches who were in culinary arts, but they also got into sales, revenue. Again, it completely depends on you. You can be a chef, or you can get into sales, revenue, whatever it is. It just depends on how you take the learning that's given, I think. So, yeah, I don't think you'll restrict yourself. Kirtana says that she's already done the campus tour and can't wait for the semester to begin.
Awesome, Kirtana. We are waiting for you to arrive here as well.
Yeah, I think these are done. Do we have any more questions? Okay, we do. There are a lot of questions coming in. Ashwarya asks, what can we expect in summer school?
You can expect the entire experience that you're likely to have in much greater detail in 4 years or 3 years, compressed down to 1 week. So you're going to probably experience the tip of the iceberg, but it's worth your while to come here for summer school.
Okay, Vaibhav is asking, when is the orientation expected to happen?
We'll get in touch with you. It's going to be in August. We will communicate the exact dates. You will receive a series of emails, and you will actually start hoping that you did not have so much communication from us. Am I right?
That's very true. I still remember my orientation. Today was actually our last day of college.
Oh, really?
So it's been almost 4 years now. Adil is asking what modifications has been done in the curriculum in accordance with advance in this industry?
I think what you're asking is if there is a natural porosity from what's happening in industry to what's happening here. The interesting part that I'd like to apprise you of is that all of our chefs are people who worked in the industry.
Yes.
So you don't really have somebody who is a pure professor of food production who's not worked with his hands. So everybody who's here, who's working in the kitchens, are people who've lived, worked, breathed, and produced food. And that is reflected in our chefs like Gurbani.
Yes.
So come experience it for yourself.
Siddharth is curious, where can he get the information about our summer program?
So please write to us, Siddharth. Again, admissions.vaksha@manipal.edu. Admissions.vaksha@manipal.edu. You can reach out and we will send you a detailed program.
Yes. Pallavi is asking, is the 1 week summer school only for applicants?
Well, the 1 week summer school is open to everybody who's finished their standard 12 and who aspire to come and be at Vaksha, but would like to get a dipstick into what the real experience feels like. You either have to have the patience like Gurbani to go through it for 4 years, or you can experience it for 1 week and then decide whether you want to spend 4 years here.
I think we didn't have the summer program before, but I think I would have made the same decision, so it didn't matter. Aditya Sharma is inquiring whether there is 100% placement.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's a simple answer to a complex question which we answered earlier.
If you want a placement, you'll get it. There are a lot of options that we have here. Someone's asking, how is Oberoi's STEP program, kitchen operations, different from Vaksha's culinary science course?
I think these are two distinctly different programs.
Yes.
I'm not equipped to comment on the other program that you're inquiring about, but if you were to take the BSc of Culinary Sciences here at Vaksha, you will be prepared to be a chef in every sense of the term.
A viewer from UAE asks for the ideal date of the class summer course and when to leave their son.
Brilliant. Please write to us again.
Again, yes.
Admissions.vaksha@manipal.edu. I am available on principal.vaksha@manipal.edu. I'm delighted to keep in touch with you, and we will work it out in such a way that it fulfills all of your expectations.
I hope that gave you your answer, and I think we'll also be posting on our Instagram and social media website everywhere. So stay tuned and keep checking. You will find out. Okay, we have more questions. Many viewers are again eager to know more about the summer program. Again, it will be on the social media everywhere.
Follow us
Soon.
on WGSHA.
Yes.
Follow me on prof.satish.jayaram. If you're with us on Insta, you'll get all the information you're looking for. 2 email IDs, admissions.vaksha@manipal.edu, or write to me, principal.vaksha@manipal.edu. I think we are running out of time and we have a whole lot of questions. Can I pick up some of these as well?
Yeah.
All right. So Isaac is curious whether he can do BHM in culinary arts. Simple answer, Isaac, no. You have to choose. You either do the BHM or you do the BSc. Vinu Kutan asks, does BHM have an entrance test too? You need to just reach out to us on email. We'll guide you through the whole process. Rohan is asking whether students are expected to show exemplary behavior toward faculty. Do you think, as principal of this institute, that the faculties also behave the same towards students? Absolutely. And if you have any doubt about that, or if you have something to report, I am open to listening to you. Please write to me at principal.vaksha@manipal.edu.
There are 2, 3. We're just gonna quickly whether he is asking, is brand management also something we could do after hotel management?
The simple answer to that is absolutely.
100%. Someone's asking to do BSc culinary students have an entrance exam if already received provisional of admission offer?
Welcome aboard.
You don't. Daksha says that she just checked and she didn't get the interview date. She thanks us. Okay, thank you.
Daksha, I'm very concerned and I'm extremely happy that you're reaching out to us so repeatedly. I promise you, leave your number and I'm going to call you. And I think this is the last question we want to take today. Harshit is asking for any updates to the upcoming MHM curriculum. The answer to that is there are ongoing changes to the master's program. And once you get in touch with us, we will be able to specifically answer your questions. And having said that, this has to absolutely be the last one we are taking today. Siddharth is asking, can he get placement in corporate instead of hospitality?
Yes.
I'm not sure what you're asking, Siddharth, but if you are able to tell me what function you are prepared to be employed in, we will try and ensure that you have the skills to be able to apply for those jobs. I know of a lot of my colleagues, I know a lot of people in the past 3 decades who have done an undergraduate in hospitality or in culinary and have moved on to performing roles in a wide variety of functions.
We also had a lot of companies like Table Space who came in for corporate service management. So there are
Well, absolutely. I would think that if you take an undergraduate program in hospitality, the world is your oyster. So welcome, come to WGSHA, enjoy our open days every 2nd and 4th Saturday. Look forward to getting more information on the summer school. And we look forward to having all of you here to enjoy the same wonderful experience that you heard Gurbani describe. And I'd like to thank all of you who are here with us today. Thank you for spending time with me and Gurbani.
And thank you, sir, also for...
I'm delighted. I'm delighted. I look forward to welcoming you all to WGSHA. And I look forward to creating an absolutely beautiful learning experience for the time that you spend here with us. Thank you very much for being here with us this evening. And thank you, Gurbani, for cornering me in my own office and saying that this is what she does with the principal. But it's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So are you done with your rapid fire round for me?
Do you want me to ask you more questions?
Well, it's entirely up to you. I'm not sure what you wanted to do when you cornered me here.
Can I ask you about food?
Sure.
Okay.